Waiting on. All right, how we doing? Why Invest Wednesday? Facebook, YouTube. Make sure you guys leave me comments, questions, anything we go over today. I would love to expand on with you privately or whatever in a public forum, whatever you choose. Just checking in, seeing how things are going. Yeah, here we are, end of July already. Seems like we've had a really short summer with all the crazy stuff going on. So Denver market, Northern Colorado market, both very sorry about that. This is in the way. There you go. Both very hot. Inventory remains really low. As a result, from the Denver MLS, we had 1,355 new listings in the last 7 days. 2,470 of those went pending, or of the listings went pending. So we're almost getting to that 2-to-1. So we're seeing 2 homes go under contract for every 1 home that's new to the market, which is quite the task there that we have in front of us. So with those inventory numbers low, obviously, we see situations that are favorable to sellers for the most part. This last weekend, I had a listing in Denver, and we only got 3 offers. We had about 30 showings. We had several people that were interested, but felt it was probably too competitive. We went under contract at double-digit thousand over asking price, and even had some nice inspection language in there, even an appraisal gap. So that stuff is still happening. People are really putting their best foot forward and just trying to get in where they can as the market continues to suppress as far as inventory goes here in Denver. So that's huge for the market here. And that's kind of what we're doing. What's up, Howard? Hope you're doing well. So yeah, other than that story, here's the reasoning that it's good for both parties. We have extremely low inventories I just went over, and record low interest rates. They did tick up a little bit at the end of last week, but they're still extremely low, hovering right around that 3 mark for the most part in perfect scenarios. So it just is crazy. I ran some numbers with a lender yesterday and doing the numbers and my monthly payment on cash outs and refinancing. If I just straight refinance my house, I could save $300-400 a month in a refinance. So if you are interested in that, definitely get in touch with me and I'll get you in touch with a great lender that can save you some money or gets you some money out regardless. I was going to take some cash out, a pretty good amount, and my payment would only go up $100 a month. So lots of crazy scenarios out there that make buying also very affordable. Therefore, we're not in a balanced market by any means because of that inventory and what you're seeing with the sellers, but buyers are able to offer a little bit more and get a little more home for their monthly payment because of the interest rate being so low. So it's kind of a sweet spot. I think that the interest rates will remain low. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But that's definitely for you and the lender to discuss your unique situation. Next up, we have the temporary business closures are becoming permanent business closures, and eventually that will have an effect on the stock market. Obviously, permanent business closures are not great, and we're seeing that a lot in the service industry. Restaurants that are in Colorado, Denver here being asked to close early, even more restrictions going on with a little bit of a quote-unquote spike in cases here. Or a assumed spike, I guess you would call it. It's really hard for those individual businesses to kind of maintain and fight through, a second wave of restrictions and things like that. So we are seeing temporary business closures become permanent business closures, which eventually has to naturally will affect unemployment, but secondarily, it eventually has to get down to the stock market, although it's kind of living in its own little world right now. They did have a Federal Reserve meeting today. Powell is really pushing for the HEALS Act to get through. So probably in about, I don't know, how long does it take those guys to get anything done? Get the two parties to agree on something. Hopefully we'll get something out of that here in the coming weeks. I would love to say days, but I'm not sure that's going to happen. But anyways, the Fed is pushing for that to happen. They also noted that gold is reaching a new heights in price and value. And what that means, according to one of my local lenders here, Nicole Ruth, is that people are flocking to the safer investments. So eventually the stock market will show that. And a safe investment obviously is moving from the stock market into bonds and mortgage-backed securities. So as demand goes up for those, the prices will go up, which will cause the yield to decrease, which means the rates will go down even further, according to Nicole Ruth, the Ruth team at Fairway Mortgage. So that is definitely someone who I look to for all kinds of macro and microeconomic type stuff. She knows her stuff and she gets it, and she's usually pretty right. So with that said, just, the real estate market is still going crazy in Denver. New listings coming on for me this weekend. I got a nice one coming up in Erie. I got a couple buyers. Just really working with people to help them get into their next home, sell their home, cash out when they want to, and really make a difference in life. And with these rates so low, even investment rates are pretty low. And if you're willing to take on a little risk for the short term, I think the long-term gain is huge with those low interest rates. If you can get an investment property and the rates are close to 3, holy cow, that's huge. So if you're interested in that, let's talk. Let's look at your situation. I think I will probably do a cash out refinance and maybe purchase a second home in the mountains somewhere, something like that. We'll see how that goes, but there's all kinds of options on the table, and now it's just a huge opportunity to take advantage of the low rates and look at your situation and go from there. If you don't own any homes, you don't have that equity built up, it's definitely a time to get in, jump in while you can. House hacks, things like that. It's definitely, let's look at some numbers, because these low interest rates really make numbers work a lot better. It's crazy how a quarter or half a point really affects your monthly payment. Rents aren't really being affected too bad. Obviously, there is some risk with just the eviction things and stuff like that. Got to be really careful who you rent to. But it's a short-term risk. Eventually, this will all hopefully be past us, and we can go back to everyone being able to pay their bills and so on. So if you have any questions, let me know. Would love to chat with you. Love to know your scenario and see how we can make it work. Hope you have a great day, great week, and we'll see you next week. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.